What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Subaru Legacy Premium. Huge thank you to Tyler Wright over at Stohlman Subaru of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Legacy or any Subaru product, I'll be sure to have Tyler's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, first let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Subaru Legacy Premium, and this particular one has been painted in Cosmic Blue Pearl. I think this is one of the coolest colors you can get on the Legacy, because in certain lights it looks purple and then in other lights it looks blue, whereas right now it looks kind of like a mix of purple and blue. Now with that said, the Legacy did get refreshed in 2023 and it remains unchanged for the 2024 model year. So with that in mind, let's start over here at our headlights. So with the Legacy Premium, you get LED steering responsive headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights. You get standard turn signals, and with the optional $2,595 option package 15, you get LED fog lights towards the bottom of your front bumper. Now working our way to the center of the front end of the Premium, you get a satin black grille with two gray grille bars on both sides of your Subaru logo. Obviously the Subaru logo is located at the center of your front grille. Working our way down just a tad, you also get a satin black lower grille as well as satin black outer grills on both sides of your front bumper. That's a closer look at that side. That's a closer look on the driver's side. One thing that I really like about the Legacies, but not only on the Legacies, on like the new body F-150s, and I know these are totally uncomparable vehicles, but this fender crease right here gives the appearance that this has fender flares, and it just adds a sense of dimension to the body lines on the Legacy. Again, personal opinion, but I think it looks really, really sweet. Now coming down just a tad, these are the standard wheels that come with the Premium, and they are a 17-inch machine face with gray pocket wheel, and they're wrapped in 225/55 Yokohama Avid GT tires. And I'll give you guys a view of the tread pattern on those tires as best that I can. Not the best, because there's really not that much of a wheel gap between the top of the tire and the fender. Really not all that much space, which is kind of nice and kind of makes it not look like a four-wheel drive vehicle like some sedans do. But as standard, you get a windshield wiper de-icer, and then also as standard with the Premium, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals. These side view mirrors are also heated and power adjustable as standard, and they are also manual folding. But with the optional $2,595 option package 15, that gives you the blind spot monitoring on the inside of your side view mirror. So right there about on the driver's side, then about right there on your passenger side. Now this one doesn't have this option that I'm about to mention, but you could get this option on your own Legacy. So that option in question is the optional $298 auto dimming exterior mirrors with the approach light. So essentially, if there's a vehicle behind you with their high beams on at night, these side view mirrors, both of them, will auto dim, and then it also gives you an approach light. Basically an approach light is like a puddle light. Now you also get at the top of the roof line these fixed crossbar mounting points, so you could set a crossbar here as well as back here. So basically if you have a bike, you could set the bike on the roof of your Legacy if that is what you wanted to do. Now let's do a little side profile action of the 2024 Legacy. That is what it looks like. It looks very similar to what you would find on the 2023 model year, because it's essentially the same exact thing. But with that said, you guys get black window trim as well as body color door handles. But again, with that $2,595 option package 15, that gives you keyless access. So just keep in mind that the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. The rear two doors do not get that keyless access function. And then obviously you get a body color rocker molding all the way at the bottom of the side profile of the Legacy. But up top here, you get a body color shark fin antenna as well as a rear window defroster. Coming to the back, you also get a black taillight bezel with the Legacy Premium. And I believe that black taillight bezel is from the base model all the way up to the Touring XT, which is, I believe, the top trim level that you can get on the Legacy. But at the center of your trunk is where you will find your Subaru logo. You also get chrome badging back here with your Subaru badging, symmetrical all-wheel drive badging, and the Legacy badging on the right-hand side of your trunk. But underneath your Subaru logo, if you feel under there, you'll feel for a little pad. If you press on that pad, the lift gate will begin to open up. Now, I want to mention a couple things back here, because if you pull on this here and you pull on this here, that will drop your second row seat. So if this is not enough space for you, trunk space for you, you can drop those second row seats and get another additional, 3 or 4 feet of storage space. However, considering the size of this sedan, there is a ton of storage space back here. I would say that you could probably fit 6 carry-on suitcases back here. I'm telling you guys, there's a bunch of storage space back here. These are the standard carpeted floor mats that you get with the Premium. They say Legacy on them, at least for the front 2 passengers. The rear 2 passengers do not get where it says Legacy. And then this particular one has been optioned with the $132 cargo tray, and essentially what that is a rubber floor mat for your trunk area, and it says Legacy on it, if you can see that. You get a nice little storage bump out there, and the same thing goes for on this passenger side, or driver side, excuse me, as well. Lifting this up, that is where you'll find your jack, and then if you continue on down, that is where you will find your spare tire, all the way down under there. But I am going to close that trunk, and then we'll take a look at the back end. So you get a satin black rear valance back here, and then last but not least, I did want to mention this if you were interested, you get an 18.5 gallon fuel tank, and regular unleaded is totally fine with the Legacy Premium. Now, let me know what you guys think of the 2024 Legacy Premium in the comment section down below. Do you guys like the way it looks? Do you guys not like the way it looks? I personally like the way it looks, but what I'm most curious to hear what you guys think, and I know the camera doesn't really pick this up on camera very well, but let me know what you think of this color. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? Do you think it looks dull, or do you like it like I do? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder that makes 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a linear-tronic continuously variable transmission for a 0 to 60 time in roughly 8 seconds. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 27 miles per gallon in the city, 35 miles per gallon on the highway, for 30 miles per gallon combined with standard all-wheel drive. And in my opinion, considering how big this vehicle is, how roomy it is, and how comfortable it is, I think those fuel economy numbers are really, really good. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your guys' help. But with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, with option package 15, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these 2 hash marks, either on the top of the door handle and or on the bottom of the door handle, and now the vehicle is locked. But again, put your hand behind the door handle and the vehicle will unlock. Now, taking a look at the driver's side door panel, you may be able to tell that this whole area right here is all black cloth wrapped. Then you get some vinyl right here. Some more vinyl beneath that. You get some faux carbon fiber trim. You get a chrome looking door handle. You get your power side view mirror controls, your unlock and your lock buttons. You get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. And then pressing on that button right there will restrict your passenger window privileges. One thing that I really like about Subaru is that they always, no matter what vehicle that they produce, they always have a great spot you can set your phone on the door panel, pretty much on all 4 of the door panels to be exact. And then you get a nicely padded armrest with some accent colored stitching. You get a great spot you could set a Deer Park water bottle, and then my iPhone 14 Pro Max for size reference fits down in there no problem. So you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space to the left of where your Deer Park water bottle would be. Now, as standard with the Premium, you get a 10-way power driver's seat that includes a 2-way lumbar, support. So that's your lumbar functions, and then here are your power seat functions. This is the black cloth interior. That's a look at that. Let's see if this does it. So you do get adjustable headrests, which is very, very nice. I noticed that with the 2024 Crosstrek and the 2024 Impreza, they no longer get the adjustable headrest, whereas on the 2023s they did. So I like how the Legacy retained the adjustable headrest. Subaru, please continue giving us the adjustable headrests on your vehicles, because a lot of us do appreciate it. But now, stepping on into the interior, like I said, you do get keyless access. That also does mean you get push button start. So all you got to do is make sure you have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake, and then push to start. And that is what it sounds like when it fires up. So I'm gonna close this door here. Then we're gonna start down here and work our way throughout the entire interior. So pressing on that button right there will open your trunk. And then this scroll knob here is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. You get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And what I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards you, the steering wheel will go away from you, and then it also moves up and down, again, to your liking, which is very, very nice. All you gotta do is push down on that lever there. You get a leather wrapped steering wheel with some accent colored stitching. Now, let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on the Legacy. Not only is this your turn signal stock, this is also your headlight control stock, your fog light control stock, and your high beam control stock. So with that in mind, I want to walk you guys through those different controls. So twisting that all the way down is headlights off. That's headlights in the automatic position. That's daytime running lights on. And then all the way at the top is the headlights in the always on position. That's fog lights off. That's fog lights on. Now, keep in mind, when my headlights are in the automatic position right now, you know, we get a little bit of daylight out. So the headlights are not actually on. So even though they're in the automatic position and the fog lights are in the on position, the fog lights are not actually on. So if you guys want you to like override that, you have to turn your headlights into the fully on position to have your fog lights on at the moment. So again, see, that's where it lets you know if your fog lights are on. I'm going to turn the headlights back into the automatic mode and you can see the fog lights turn back off. Just something that I thought I'd point out to those of you guys who were interested in that. Now, taking a look at our steering wheel, Subaru logo. This is where you'll find your horn. Let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Legacy. Now, with that CVT, you do get an 8-speed manual shift mode. So you get your upshift and your downshift paddles on the steering wheel. So this is your upshift paddle. This is your downshift paddle. Downshift on the left, upshift on the right. Now let's go throughout our steering wheel controls. That is to go back on the track. That is to go forward on the track. That is to switch between your different AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio, auxiliary jack, USB, all your different audio sources. That is the button that you want to switch between the different sources. And then these buttons here are to control your productivity screen. We'll get into that here in a minute. That is to pick up on a phone call. That is to mute the audio system and or hang up on a phone call. That is to speak to the vehicle. Here are your volume controls. And as standard with the Premium, you get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. Now with all that out of the way, let's go into our gauge cluster. So on the left-hand side, you have your RPM gauge. On the right-hand side, you have your speedometer. That's your coolant temperature gauge. And then that is your fuel gauge. You may notice your fuel pump has that little arrow pointing to the right. That means that you fill the vehicle up with gas on the right-hand side. Now let's go throughout our productivity screen. So at the top, you have your instant fuel economy. So let's say we're coasting down a hill. This is gonna come to this side, basically stating that we're getting better fuel economy. And then when it's on this side, that means we're getting bad fuel economy. Now, beneath that, right now, this is your tire pressure stuff. You actually have to be moving in order to get the tire pressure readings, but that is where you can control with these buttons here. So I'm just gonna click down like that, and that's gonna bring me into my compass. Clicking down again, that's like navigation stuff. We're on an unnamed road. This is your audio stuff. Then you have your time and your temperature. That is basically your average fuel economy for the trip A and your fuel range. That's your fuel range. Then that is some more analytical data. And then this is a pretty cool thing. So basically when the auto stop start system turns the vehicle off at a stoplight, it counts how long the vehicle has been off for on that trip with the auto stop start system, and then also how much fuel it has saved on that trip with the auto stop start system. So that's a pretty cool thing, even though I hate auto stop start. And then that's back into this screen here. That's your digital speedometer readout. That lets us know that we're in park. That's letting us know that the auto stop start system is off at the moment. And then that is your trip A information. And then beneath that is your odometer. If you guys want to reset the trip A information, you have this little trip reset button over here. So if you press and hold on that, the 22.8 will reset back down to 0, and now the values are 0. And that's, you know, kind of about it for that screen. This is your windshield wiper control stock, and then beneath that, that is your push button start button. Again, that comes with option package 15. But working our way into this screen, I'm going to go throughout the physical controls and then into the screen itself. So up top here, this is your hazard button. You have a little white thing on that the owner can take off when they take delivery of this vehicle. I'm not going to take it off, but beneath that, this is your volume knob. If you press like that, that's going to mute the audio system. Press that again, that's going to unmute the audio system, and then if I press and hold on this, that's going to turn the screen off. You can see the screen and audio is powering off. If I press and hold on that again, that is going to cancel that action. So now it's not going to turn off, but that's your front defroster. Dual zone climate does come standard with the Premium. So those are your driver temperature controls. Here are your passenger temperature controls. That is to turn your rear window defroster on or off. This is your tuning knob, and then if you press and hold on that, that will bring you into your audio stuff. So basically like your different tone settings. So you get your bass, your mid-range, your treble, then you can go into your balance and fader, as well as your vocal image control. Xing out of that, up top here, it lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. Now let's jump into the screen. So up top here, you got your ambient exterior temperature and the current time. You can adjust what's on this screen here. So basically you got your audio stuff, get your navigation stuff, then you can go into your different temperatures and your average speed, etc. Then you have also your weather, which is also very nice. That's probably the screen that I would leave this on, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, you have those 4 different options of what you want, but this is your home screen. So basically you have your navigation stuff there, radio, you get your media, phone, apps, Subaru Starlink, my Subaru, Apple CarPlay, so you can basically hop into the Apple CarPlay stuff if you wanted to right there. Then you get your settings, swiping over, get your car information. I can show you that screen. That's like pitch and roll stuff. And then you can go in between your different vehicle maintenance stuff. That's what that looks like there. And then you also have valet mode, auto vehicle hold. Basically what auto vehicle hold is, if you guys are stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself, if you turn that on, the vehicle will hold you in place on its own with its braking system. It's a pretty cool feature. And then that is to turn your traction control on or off, and that's kind of about it for that screen. Clicking on that will bring you into your vehicle stuff. That is one screen in there. This is your second screen, and that is your third screen. Then that is your instant automatic stop start system on or off. I like to keep that off. That's your home button. This will bring you into your different connected devices, which basically my phone is the one that is connected to at the moment. And then you can go in between your connection preferences right there. And then all the way over here is your driver profiles. I'm not gonna mess with that because, you know, this isn't my vehicle, so I'm gonna let the first owner get into their own profiles. But you get heated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability as standard with the Premium. So that's your heated seat button right there. This is also your climate control stack that is on the screen at all times. So if you guys wanted to bring the climate control throughout the entire screen, you got to click right here, and then this is what your climate control screen looks like. One thing that I really like about Subarus is that if you click here, you can either split the air 50-50 between your head and your feet, or you can do 75% of the air blown on your head and 25% blown on your feet. I think that's really cool, and you don't really see that in any other manufacturer's vehicles. Down here, you got an auxiliary jack, you have a USB-C port and a USB-A port. You can also get a optional wireless charging pad. This one does not have it, but this is where the wireless charging pad would be. I'll throw the price of that on screen. And then this is your electronic parking brake. Pull up to engage it. It will light up in red when the parking brake is engaged. If you guys want to disengage the parking brake, push your foot down on the brake, push down on that, and then the parking brake will disengage. Like I said, you get an 8-speed manual shift mode, so if you guys want to control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, put this thing into drive and then flip that over to the left, and you can see that M right there will illuminate, and now you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Coming down just a little bit more, you also get 2 cup holders here. Then you get a nicely padded armrest with some accent colored stitching. Opening this up, this is basically where you could set like business cards or anything, you know, probably like an inch thickness or less, because after all, this is the top part of the center console, not the bottom part. Opening up the bottom part, I would say that maybe 45% of my forearm fits down in there. So really not all that much space down in here, but you also get a 12-volt power outlet down in there as well. Just be mindful of what you set in there, because you can run out of storage space rather quickly there. Now, like I mentioned to you guys earlier on in the video, Subaru always thinks of great places that you can set your phone throughout the interior. So iPhone 14 Pro Max, boom, you can set it right up there, and that's a great spot you could set your phone. Coming down just a tad, you do get a lockable glove box, which is nice. On a lot of new vehicles, you no longer get a lockable glove box, with a good amount of storage space in there. So you can set your owner's manual as well as some other miscellaneous things like, you know, napkins, straws, snacks, you know, stuff like that. But This side looks pretty much the exact same as what you would find on the driver's side door panel. However, you do get a manually adjustable front passenger seat. It's not power. And then you also get an adjustable headrest over there as well. Popping that open, you get a great spot. You could set your sunglasses and or a taco. This is your Subaru Starlink stuff, so basically roadside assistance. And then here are your light preferences. So you can either have the lights turn on when you open up the doors, which is what the setting is on right now, and then the lights turn on. Flip that over to the left. Now when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. That kind of segues me into the next option that this vehicle has been optioned with. And this vehicle has the optional $107 interior LED light upgrade. So these lights are LED, your visor lights are LED, and pretty much all the interior lights in here are LED. Now, another option that this has, again, is the $2,595 option package 15. And essentially what you get with that include the power sunroof. So here are your power sunroof controls. The power sunroof does not come standard with the Premium. It is a part of option package 15. This is what the sunroof looks like. It slides and then it also tilts up. I'm not going to open it up because it's drizzling right now and I don't want to get the interior wet, but you guys get the gist of that. I'll get into what else comes with that package here in a minute, but I'm going to go through a couple other things first. For this right here is just your regular rear view mirror. Then behind this plastic here is your eyesight cameras. I'll go through eyesight features here in a minute as well. But here on your visor, you get a little clip right here. You can set money, registration, or any small paper product. Then opening up your visor, you get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights there. And then this visor also does slide forwards and backwards to your liking. O-poop handle over here on the driver's side. And then you also get an O-poop handle over there on the passenger side as well. Now I do want to go over a couple different things. So what comes with the $2,595 option package 15 include the eyesight driver assistance system with automatic emergency steering. You also get the power moonroof. You get the Starlink 11.6-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. That package also includes blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, as well as keyless access with push button start. You also get PIN code access and LED fog lights. Again, this one has been optioned with the $107 interior LED light upgrade. And then now I want to go over a couple different things that you get with the eyesight driver assistance system. So these things include pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist. You also get pre-collision throttle management, as well as lane departure warning, lane sway warning, and lead vehicle start alert. A couple things that you get standard with the Premium include heated front seats, a 10-way power driver seat, and the dual zone climate control system. There are also a couple other things, but those are just the highlights that I thought you guys would be interested in. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen that you guys can take a look at the optional stuff, the standard stuff, the safety stuff, so on and so forth, even the warranty if you wanted to. But basically I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Subaru Legacy Premium is spec'd is $31,119. I think that is a very good value considering what you get. This is a really nice vehicle. You don't really need any more than what this vehicle has on it, but if you do, there are a few other trim levels that you can get aside from this one. And starting with the Sport, you can get the bigger motor, which is something that I would be interested in because that has quite a bit more power than this. But I do want to show you guys what we got going on in those rear seats before we moved into the driving portion of the review. So I'm going to unlock the door and I'm going to show you what we got going on in these rear seats. So stepping out, taking a look at what we got going on back here. The door panel back here looks pretty much the exact same as what you would find on the driver door panel. All of this is all cloth wrapped. All the vinyl, all that faux carbon fiber is all pretty much the exact same. However, you do not get an automatic up or down window back here, but that is as far as your window goes down, so it goes all the way down. And then you also, just like the front, got a great spot you could set your phone if you wanted to. You get a nicely padded armrest, great spot you could set a Deer Park water bottle, and then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space. This is what your rear seats look like. You get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. So that's a look at that. This is also nicely padded. Again, 2 cup holders. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get 2 HVAC vents as well as a USB-C port and a USB-A port. I am adjusted behind myself. That's how much leg room I have. That's how much knee room I have. I've got a ton of it there's a better view of all the legroom and the knee room that I do have. I am 5'9". I also have quite a bit of headroom left over as well. So this is a very comfortable vehicle, even if you are, you know, taller than me. Get an OPU panel and a spot you could set your dry cleaning, and then the same thing goes for over there on the passenger side. And then last but not least, with that interior LED light upgrade, these dome lights for the rear passengers are also again LED. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these rear seats. So we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Premium. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the review, where we always start here, at least when we're out this way. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. That was about 4 to 6. That was a pretty poor thing right there. Now let's do 5. Let's actually do 5 this time. I'm gonna give this thing a 8.2 on a scale of 1 to 10. It did very well over those speed bumps, and I think that's a pretty good score. Now let's see what the body roll test is like. There is a little bit of body roll. That's to be expected. You know, this isn't really a sport vehicle. This isn't like a sport tuned suspension vehicle. I think you have to get the sport in order to get that. And I noticed, like, on the Crosstrek Sport that I did a video with today, it didn't have a sport tuned suspension, even though it was the sport. Now, one thing I wanted to say is that I know this is the small, or actually this is technically the bigger motor, but it is the less powerful motor between the two motors that you can get on the Legacy. So this is the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated motor, and with the Sport you can get the 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder that makes like 260 horsepower if I'm not mistaken. So that is definitely quite a bit more powerful than this one. However, I think for a lot of you guys out there who don't really care about power, I think this thing has more than enough get up and go for those of you guys who, again, don't really care that much about power. This thing gets great fuel economy, so it's very economical, and it honestly has more than enough get up and go, especially around town. Now, once you get up to highway speeds, you know, you're cruising 80 miles an hour, it's going to take a little bit longer for this thing, you know, to pass people and stuff like that, and you might have to, you know, bury your foot all the way down in order to get around people. And that's kind of, you know, at higher speeds and lower speeds is where, you know, the 2.4 liter turbo motor is definitely going to whip this thing 10 times out of 10. You know, it's got a lot more power. But again, if you don't care about the power, you just need something economical that's going to get you from point A to point B, I think this is a great vehicle for you, because it's got more than enough power, you know, for really what you need, you know, unless, you know, you like a lot of power, because in that case, then you have an engine option for those of you who, you know, want more power. There is an option for you, but obviously, like anything in this world, you're going to have to pay for it. So, this thing, again, I think it's got enough power for, I'd say 65% of the people out there, you know, looking to buy a Legacy. But for those of you 35%, you know, who want more power, there is the Sport, and there is, I think it's the Touring, the higher trim levels of the Legacy. But this thing being the Premium, it's very comfortable. It rides very well. And, you know, this thing, again, like I was mentioning when we were on the interior part of this video, it has pretty much everything that you need and more. You know, there's not really much more that you need in a car that this doesn't have, unless you want the leather, unless you want the ventilated seats, unless you want the this, the that. Then you're gonna have to step up to a higher trim level, and you're gonna pay for that. But I'm gonna have to give you guys, you know, 10-15 seconds to hear what it sounds like going over this bridge and listen to the road and the wind noise. So take a listen. So we're not totally at highway speeds, but, you know, maybe we are, because we're going 55, and it sounds very well insulated from the outside world, which is very nice, especially on a $31,000 vehicle. And that is something that kind of leads me to my next point, is that one thing I really like about Subaru is that they still make an affordable vehicle, but the affordable vehicle is still nice, which is awesome. That's another Subaru right there. So yeah, even though this vehicle is affordable, it doesn't feel cheaply made. Like, this thing actually feels, it's got like relatively good build quality. I mean, I think it's got good build quality actually. And for $31,000, I think you get a lot of car for that price. You know, nowadays it seems like cars are just getting more and more expensive, and they're not very few, but there are less and less cars as time goes on that are around the $30,000 mark. So it's nice that this is around the $30,000 mark, and you know, we're just accelerating. This guy's gonna totally get in front of me. So, you know, I think that this, you know, it's a very good value for what you get at $31,000. I mean, heck, I mean, it's very comfortable. It rides great. It's nicely insulated. You get the wireless Apple CarPlay, you get the wireless Android Auto. Now, the sound system is pretty good. One thing that I don't like about Subaru is that they don't give you like an optional sound system. You know, you have to get the next trim level in order to get the nicer sound system, which would be the Harman Kardon sound system. So Subaru, if there's anybody from Subaru watching this video, which I highly doubt, I would say that you guys, at least like on the premiums and the lower trim levels, and I'm talking about across the board amongst the Subaru models, is that I think you should offer the Harman Kardon sound system on the lower trim levels. Maybe not necessarily the base model, but like the premium and so on and up, like the premium, the limited, and you should offer it as like an $800 option. That's just my opinion. If there's anybody who agrees with me who's watching this video, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with what I'm saying. Shouldn't like Subaru give you the option or the ability to get the premium sound system on the lower trims? That's my personal opinion. I think Subaru would sell a lot more vehicles if that was the case. But overall, this thing rides well. It is well insulated from the outside world, but you know, comparing this to $40,000-$50,000 vehicles, there is a little bit more road noise, there is a little bit more wind noise, but that's to be expected. You know, this is also a very, you know, affordable vehicle at $30,000, so it's kind of to be expected. But once this light turns green here, I'm gonna give you guys a little mild acceleration as we pull off to the left. So as soon as this light turns green, we'll get up and go. And on this acceleration, I'm gonna try not to talk. %. So like I said, you know, this is not the most powerful thing in the world, but I think it's got more than enough get up and go to really get you around town and for you to not feel, you know, unhappy with the amount of power that it has. So I think, you know, again, for a lot of you guys out there, this thing is going to have more than enough power to keep you guys happy. And I think you guys will also be very happy with the fuel economy that this gives. Now, one thing I wanted to say that has to pertains to the fuel economy stuff is that I've had people before on other legacy videos that I've made comment on how their fuel economy doesn't necessarily meet what the EPA says it does on the window sticker. Like, they get a couple miles per gallon worse. But, you know, considering the fuel economy is very good, I think you'd be totally fine, you know, not getting exactly what the window sticker says that you're gonna get, which is to be expected. You know, everybody drives differently. You know, some people, you know, really drive slow and they baby their car, and then other people, you know, they like to get their foot in the throttle to get up and going faster than, you know, another person would. So don't necessarily take for what those fuel economy numbers say exactly on the window sticker, because you're not going to get exactly what that says. You might get better, you might get worse. It all dependent on how you drive. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said earlier on in the video, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your help. So if you did take anything from this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.